Hi, welcome to the channel. Please subscribe. I have just begun this channel and I am loving it. I feel like I'm really fulfilling my calling, and I feel like this is something I love to do, and I love to help people, and I love to share, and I love to talk. It's just up my alley. So please subscribe. It'd be a nice thing for you to do. And it also, you can just get the next notification, and maybe that's the next video you see that will get you on your path. Maybe it's something you're looking for. So subscribe. Also, interact with the video. So today's topic is the positive aspects of owning a business. So before we start, what are your business ideas? What business do you really want to start? What do you really yearn to do? Put it in the comment. Put it in the comment. Let it be something that you convince your mind. When you write something down, you convince your mind. Nothing happens by writing it down. It's just this like familiarity and convincing of the mind that you do. So write it down, type it in. What is that business you want? And also maybe why do you want it? How about that? Go really deep. Why do you want it? Why cupcakes? Why donuts? Why do you want to get a hair salon? Why do you want to sell clothes? Do you make clothes? Do you just have a really trendy style? Why? Let me know. Let's interact. All right. So the positives of having a business. Well, the biggest positive, I guess, is that draws people to it is the freedom. It's a kind of double-edged sword, isn't it? The freedom, because are you really free? I mean, or are you enslaved to the job? You are enslaved to the job for sure. But the freedom I'm talking about is freedom to not be hired by the people. Freedom not to have a boss. Freedom to not be attacked, manipulated by other people. Are you sensitive like me? Do you not like being under maybe a dictator? Maybe someone who's unfair or plays favorites or political? Or maybe you just don't want to be, you don't trust your livelihood in the hands of somebody else. Maybe you're a little controlling. It's okay. Nothing wrong with being controlled. It's nice to control your life. So the freedom of being your own boss. Okay. The freedom of setting your own hours. Maybe if you need to leave, you leave. You don't have anyone to talk to and ask and say, I need to leave, and beg to. You just close the door and go. The freedom to set the hours and vacations that you want. You don't have to ask someone. You just put a sign on the door and says, notify people and say, I'll be closed for the next week. Pick the time that's convenient for you and for the business. Don't go while everybody's looking for you. If you're, an HVAC guy, don't be going on vacation in summer. Don't be doing that. Or in winter. Go in the in-between. Nobody cares. Okay, so the freedom. Also, you're able to hire people. You're able to say who works around you for the most part. In some part. You get a lot of surprises when you work with people, and getting rid of people is not the easiest. You do have to be fair. People do rely on you. People have families, and it's not something you should take lightly, because it is people's livelihoods, and there could be legal ramifications. So you got to be very, not abuse that power. Also, you can set the tone of the place that you work in. Is it a fun place? Are people running around with skateboards in your office? Do you have music on? Do you encourage a little niceness, fun, or you really strict B? You know, you control your environment. I can control even what music I listen to a certain extent. So you can control the products you sell, the services you sell. You can control how much money you make. If you're not doing so well, maybe stay back, work a little harder. You know, you can control when to make more money and when to lay off a little bit. You can also, for some part, be in control of your health care. Now, for the first half of the time I had a business, there was no health care available to me unless I had 3 people that were able to have health care available to them. So unless I had 3 people that I was giving health care to, or at least one of them can get it and they just chose not to, I was not going to get health care. But now the laws have been changed and you can get health care and just charge it as a MERP expense in a corporation. I don't know about an LLC. You're going to have to ask your accountant. So you can get your own insurance and then pay for it. And so just say you're getting insurance for $190 a month, or $290 a month, or $400 a month, or for your whole family, $800 a month. And then you can just pay for it and then give it to your accounts. If you control that, then just write a check for yourself and then keep it in records as though that was an expense that was had by your company because you got insurance. So with a corporation, you can do that now. So that's wonderful. You can be 1 person, 3 people, 2 people, or 10 people and get it for yourself and not offer insurance to everybody. Or you can offer insurance to everybody. Now, if you do that, you have to, the rules stipulate that whatever you give yourself, you have to give to everybody else. So if it's a husband and wife team, that's perfect. But if you got 5 other employees and your insurance is, if your MERP account is, $5,000 a year that you allocate in your, to yourself and your employees, then everybody, you have to offer that to everybody. Okay. But you can get insurance, you can get health related stuff. If you don't get insurance and you are more like me and you, do alternative stuff, so you get vitamins, natural ways, natural teas, natural teeth cleaning products, natural ways of living your life, then you can expense those as well because they are under health care. You can get physical therapy, you can get whatever helps your health. Okay, and it's way cheaper than if you had insurance anyway, so it definitely saves the company money. Another positive is, money. You can make some money. Now, here, for example, I don't make money all year round. There's a couple of times a year that I would say, I got some money to play with. So I can book a vacation. I can go buy something for this business. I can, something that has to do with the business. So I can book a vacation and do my meetings. It has to be reasonable. You can't go for 2 weeks somewhere. You can't go for 2 weeks in Egypt. It's got to be within reason. So you can do a couple of days somewhere and then, have your meetings, do your work, perform stuff, do your training, do whatever you got to do, and then maybe book, the other half with yourself, with your own income. So it just alleviates some of the expenses. You can hire and fire whoever you want, of course. Also, you can expense a car. So as long as it's not more than 80%, you can expense it. So you can go and buy a car, and if you use half of it for your store, or 20% for your store, then you can expense that. So if the car cost 30,000, 20%, you can expense that. So you don't have to pay for it all. And it has to be used for work purposes, and you keep a log, and you can expense your gas mileage with that as well. And your accountant will do all that for you. You just tell them what your situation is, and they can mold it into the formula that fits you. But it has to be, you can't just go buy yourself a car. It has nothing to do with the business. It has to be something you need. So if you're an electrician and you use your truck or whatever, there are some stipulations. Ask your accountant. The other really good thing is when you have a regular work, you can go to the bank, but you always have to show 2 years of work for something to get money. And it's always very limited. So it's hard to just go and get money. With a business, as long as you've been doing that for 2 years, it's very easy to get money because it's not a strict process. All you have to do is just show that you've been in business, you are in business, and the last 2 years of your, corporate, what's it called? Your tax returns. But it's very, it's like the banks have to, by law, do business with business. And so they have to allocate a certain percentage. I don't know what that is, but I remember when I went and I got money, some money for the business, it was very easy. Not to do the build out. That was really hard because it was the first time and I had not ever worked. I wasn't working in a job. I was a stay-home mom, wanting like 200K from a bank kind of thing. They're like, what? So they were taking a risk on me. They end up giving me partial for me, but it was a huge risk, But once I'm in business, I literally just talked to the guy like I was having coffee. He's like, yep, sign here, send me over this, you're good. What? I literally did it over an afternoon. He's like, it'll be ready in a day. What? No jokes. Sign here, give me this, you got your money in a day. It was so easy. And you can, you just justify it with work. But it's very easy. If you want to expand your business, if you want to, having business and expanding your business is very easy to do once you have a business. And you can get money very easily from a bank. Very, very easily. That's a big, big benefit. Big, big benefit. Yeah. The other thing I want to say before I go is when you're making money, everyone's like, oh, small business. It's okay to be a small business. It's okay for you to carve yourself out a little niche and work a certain amount of days. Now, in reality, you can't not work. You can't have a bakery and work less than 5 days. You have to be very niche, very specialized, very high quality, very wanted. You could be exclusive, but nobody wants you because they can't afford you. So it's very important that you understand that there's nothing wrong with being a small business and just carving out yourself a little income, whatever that income is for you. You could be okay to make, an average little income of $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. Is that a lot? No. But it gets everything paid. You work like everybody else, except you got some benefits back here. You got some benefits. You can buy a car, that you can't otherwise afford. You can expand your business that you can't otherwise do. You can call your shots, and if you have to pick up your kid, things happen. You can do some things that are very valuable in being small. You know, nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with carving yourself a little salary for yourself and for your family. And that's it. Like all this idea of I need to make 200,000 or 500,000 or like who does that? Like I feel like online, just the algorithms online are so like BS. Maybe there's some people who do really well. That's great. That's great. And I'm sure there are. But your average person does not. Just Google it. What's the average income of a bakery owner? It's very